you doing? I cannot see the camera while I'm recording, so we're just gonna see how this goes. So I thought that we could switch out what I'm switching out for what I used in July into what I'm going to use for August. I'm going to stay in standard traveler's notebook. It's working really well. I see no point in changing anything. And I love this cover. I'm just feeling like the brown instead. Obviously this is my very well loved, a lot of mileage on it, traveler's notebook cover in brown. So is my head staying out? I guess we'll find out. So I already pulled out my July tab. I made an August one. So let's see what we're going to do. I did already decorate stuff for August as well. Let me check this real quick. Hey, not too shabby. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull my pen out. So how was July for everybody? July was chaos here, but that's kind of the usual. Let's see, let's go ahead and pull these guys out too. Oh, my nose is gonna start to run. It's beautiful out here, but allergies. I don't think I'm going to untie these and add them to the brown one. I think I'm gonna leave them in the black one. Okay, so far so good still. So let's pull, I already decorated all this for August. Get these guys out. I'm really glad I added these pockets. These pockets made all the difference. It gives just enough kind of structure to the cover. And I like that the covers are thin, I really do. But it gives just enough structure to it that it makes it really easy to write while it's on your lap. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. I'm walking around making sure that stuff is, look how much this cover formed to the thickness of my inserts. It feels so good. So let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to switch out before I did all that, I just dropped my butterfly clip. I'm going to pull out a brown connecting band instead of a black one because yes, I am matchy like that. You know, I was setting up to record this and I moved this little table twice to get us out of like weird shadows from the trees and whatnot, and the sun has already moved so much that we're not gonna worry about it. So here's my connecting band that is connecting my first notebook to my third notebook. So we are going to take that out. Let's do all these guys go together. So we're gonna pull that out. And yes, I put them directly back on here because I don't want to lose any of them because I have 2 brown and 2 black, and I figure I may eventually have one break, and I don't want them loose in a pencil bag or whatever and me not knowing where they are. And keeping track of it on this nice big card in its package is super helpful, but I'm gonna put those away in a second. I don't think you want to sit around and watch me put those away. So there's my connecting band. So we've got third book. I'm really sorry if there's a bunch of glare there. First book. Gonna slide this into the center of the first book and get rid of all the twists that are in it if I can. There we go. And then we're going to open my third book to the center, and I usually just slide the front cover of the third book right onto there, and then I do try to go through and fix it if it's twisted because it's still got a little twist in it, but I will live. Okay, so these are ready to go. Now in here, I am going to, you know what we'll do first? I made my little August tab for my nameplate, so we'll pop that in there. Are we still in frame? We're not doing too bad. And going to put this back on here. You know, I have a flower clip that came with this. Came from Southern Belle Plans, one of the monthly kits. I have a flower one that I thought would be nice for this month, also from another one of Tabby's kits, because of all the sunflowers, but I have to see where I put it. This all goes back here. The only thing I did in this back pocket to switch out for August was, these stay the same. I had different colored, these Midori stickers. I had some like red and pink ones, and then I had these green ones to go with the strawberries from last month. So I pulled these out to go with the sunflowers this month. So all of this goes in here. And then I also pulled out my August large line dates from RandiDOTPlans. And then back here is all my typical, my PaperPlannerBliss and RandiDOTPlans little small icon stickers. Let's see, that all goes inside this bit. And then these, I showed you these in my setup. These are for my weeklies. Those go into here hopefully nicely, because I know that this is going to give over time, and I'm pretty sure that's how I had them coming so in and out nicely in this one, is because I had done it several times throughout July, because these pockets are new on here. Okay, that is done. I'm gonna peek again. Hey, we're not doing too bad. A little crooked, but not too bad. And then now the question is, where did I put the stack of stuff? There it is. Here is my stack of stuff for the front. And this all, surprisingly, this little corner pocket, if I can get a hold of it, holds all of this really well. And we're just gonna fiddle with this, fiddle with that. And yes, my elephant is upside down, but it holds this card in here nicely. So we're gonna go with it. Okay, now we're gonna not worry about the pen for this moment. Let's take a peek again. So far so good. Okay, then we're gonna take our first book and our third book that we connected with the jump band, and we are going to try to carefully slide them under the center elastic without pulling any clips off and without yoinking my stuff out of this pocket. So there's that. There's my center band. This is my middle notebook, my second notebook. And we are going to pop that on there. And we are set. Oh my goodness, it's so funny. This one is older than this one. So this one's a bit more stiff, and this just like boop right around the inserts. You know, we could also do a little July, now that July is done, we could do a little July flip through, I think. Give me one sec. Okay, so I ran through real quick and covered some things up. So all of this is the same as the kind of like July, I don't know, setup video, I guess. I think I called it a flip through that I did in the middle of July. But I thought maybe it'd be fun to look and see. This is all inbox stuff, and I have stuff on there. Here's what July ended up looking like. So quite a bit going on, and then some days were pretty slow. Right, so as I said in my last kind of setup video, decorative stickers are all Southern Belle plans. The small icons are RandiDOTPlans. This little balloon one is PaperPlannerBliss, and all the Microdots are PaperPlannerBliss. So there's all that. The things that I add on here kind of after the fact, so I go through, I add my son that I share my car with, I put his work schedule in here, and then like if we, what else do I put on here? Bills, that's what these little guys are. And then as the month goes, if, you know, an appointment comes up, I obviously add it on. If we did something maybe kind of last minute, or something comes up in this week that's going to happen this week, let's say, then I'll add it. Like here was, you know, go out for lunch while my mom was here, and The other things I add after the fact is days that I posted videos. I add this is a little YouTube icon sticker from RandiDOTPlans. Everything's color coded. If I finished a book, I'll put the little book symbol and which book number for the year it was. And that's pretty much it. To-do list wise, that all lives up here in this inbox section. And I've got stuff in there that's not covered up, but I did show it in my last setup video that was posted a couple weeks ago. So now we will go to the weekly. Actually, that wasn't true. I was going to show you the setup for August too. So here's kind of what it looks like at the beginning of the month. So the stuff that's already on there is bill due dates, my son's work schedule, any appointments we already have, doctor's appointments. I got a video up yesterday, so I wrote that in last night. I actually finished a book last night too, and I'm like, dang, I ran out of room yesterday to be able to add that in there. Down here, sometimes I'll put a list of like to-dos. Generally not, like I said, that tends to live up in my inbox, but I will put like book releases, anything particular going on that month I want to keep an eye on. And then, so that way you can kind of see if I can do an end of August flip, you can kind of see the difference. But again, all the decorative stickers, all of the, you know, Monday through Sunday, that's all Southern Belle plans. These little dates are from RandiDOTPlans. Okay, so that is it for the monthly. All right, so now in the weekly, take a peek again, not too bad. I have a bunch of stuff covered up in here because I really do live in this weekly. So I have a bunch of Mike's medical stuff covered up. So everything is color coded. I can't remember if I went over this in detail really in my last setup video, but again, decorative stickers, Southern Belle plans. These day numbers are Southern Belle plans. My little holiday icons are PaperPlannerBliss. Those are also, those come in a set. You get the little icons plus the little monthly with the font written on it, the typewritten, you know, what the holiday is. So what I do is I have a list for the week over here. All of these are RandiDOTPlans, and then day specific tasks go down this column, plus any overflow from what happened that day, any appointments, like places to physically go to, even if they're tasks, that goes over here. So, and then everything's color coded. So pink is all my YouTube stuff, blue is all boys' stuff, brown tends to be book stuff and planner stuff, black is my stuff, purple is Mike's stuff, orange is house stuff, green is money stuff. So this is how, and I did start adding under my currently section like what I was watching or reading. I've been in a big reading slump. Probably since like maybe April or May. I've just been in a huge reading slump, which I have come out of now. Aside from, and part of it was reading the Notebook, History of Thinking on Paper by Roland Allen for One Book July. That really helped pull me out of my reading slump, and I think I need to remember that, is when I get in a reading slump like that, it might be good for me to grab something nonfiction, because that did help. And then July 7th through 13th, this is what it looked like. So like I said before, this is kind of, this has morphed this last week or two. This was the plan for the week. It was a good place to have all my lists, because I had considered going to like a vertical weekly, but I wanted a bound already printed book, and I didn't have one. I had this one on hand, and I didn't have one that had a spot for the weekly lists. And I really like having my lists sectioned out like this, because if I'm already out doing something, it is very easy for me to see what else, what other errands I can run while I'm already out. I have a tendency, if I put that stuff up here, to not kind of want to look at it because it gets overwhelming. So if I categorize my lists, I do a lot better. And obviously this month has been doctor stuff for Mike, so it's been quite chaotic. This is kind of more of the same. And here was where I finally, sitting in the hospital, I finished The Dragon Reborn. And obviously through this whole time I was working on the notebook, so that helped. Stuff I was watching, a lot of stuff here, like Tabitha Takes Over. I love Tabitha. They're older shows. That's kind of stuff that I'll put on like to listen to while I'm in the shower or putting makeup on or whatever. So I'm not maybe watching, but I'm definitely listening. And then here is getting toward the end of the month. I started marking days that I finished books with a dot, and I wrote the number on it. And then for August, I'm going to leave that there. Here I was writing down the book I finished. Once school starts, this is going to get pretty full again on its own. So it was a nice little filler for now, but I'm going to be listing those over here under my currently. And that is pretty much it. We are here today. Ooh, I have to call them. So this is this week. So I rolled everything over into August. I set it up like I usually do. These are add-ons to Tabby's Southern Belle Plans monthly kit, and I thought they were so perfect to put my little category labels on. They're so cute, and it's removable matte sticker paper too, because several of these with the line on them, I'm sure they're probably crooked even now. I did have to, you know, like adjust and whatnot, and I didn't have any problems. Didn't even come close to tearing my paper, and even though I have kind of, this side would be straight and this side wouldn't, which this one may still be crooked. Yes, it is a little bit. I can pull this end up and straighten it out, and it sticks back down no problem too. I don't seem to have a problem with it curling up on the end. Here's where I finished our one book July read. Yeah, my nonfiction has been, or my fiction has been Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Don't ask me what happened to my brain. But it's hilarious. It's completely absurd, and I've been enjoying it. It's very escapist. So then August setup, so far, this is pretty much all I do. I will go through and write days that I need to make sure withdrawals were done. I will go through tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I will go through the monthly and transfer information over to here for appointments, my son's work schedule that I share the car with, any day specific tasks, and then anything from this list that I don't get done will go up here. As you can see, I already started adding stuff. Two of the boys got an apartment together, so we need to start going through their more, you know, like the bookcase and the spare dresser and stuff like that, because some of that will be going with them. So we need to do that before moving day comes, so that we're not dealing with it when we should be driving back and forth to their apartment. I'd like to go get a haircut this week because I have entirely too much hair in my head right now. So this is what it looks like kind of beforehand, completely clean, no lists up in advance. The only thing I put in advance is really important tasks that are day specific, and then like the bills and auto withdrawals and whatnot. So that is that. Everything is from the same places as it was in my last video. Deco's Southern Belle Plans, numbers are Southern Belle Plans. The week label is RandiDOTPlans. I love those because I can flip through and just look at the corner and find specific dates really quickly. These were the Southern Belle Plans add-ons for August, and these category labels are RandiDOTPlans. And I believe that is it for the weekly. Hold tight one sec. Alrighty, how am I doing? Am I somewhat in frame here? Yeah, we're doing all right. I just looked at the time and realized I need to be quick because I told Liam I would do the Fortnite event with him today, and that is starting in like 15 minutes. So here is my last book. We'll look through what July looked like. There's not a whole lot for me to explain. It's pretty much, this is my gratitude page. And then we start with what I was doing for vertical. Like I had said that this book was, you know, like the plan, and then this was what actually happened. So I was using like a vertical weekly. I didn't go through and cover things up in here. Everything is still color coded. But you know what? This really kind of fell off by, like, see, the last week of July, I didn't even touch it because I didn't have as much in that. Here's the plan for the week, especially like the task and appointment side, the left side. So I was using that for all of this. So I did not set up a vertical weekly like this for August. It's just a blank grid notebook. So if I feel like I need it, I can just put it in there. Is my head in the shot? I hope not. And then we have, this was the project page for One Book July. So that is done. So I crossed it out. And then some of this I think I showed in my flip through for July, but we'll just flip through all of July. So it's done. That next spread is all health stuff for Mike. There'll be stuff in here that I printed, maybe stuff that I posted, quotes that I wrote down. Here's notes for our One Book July read along of the notebook. This is really just kind of it. Again, the end of the month, the end of July got pretty busy again, but it was more, it wasn't as many things. It was fewer things that took longer, if that makes sense. So there wasn't a whole lot of journaling and whatnot going on. I don't think I journaled much of anything. Like here, I need to put something on this page. I have a blank page. More notes for our read along. And then I started August, and then the next page I was journaling last night because yesterday was August 1st. So that is it. We have finished out July. We have set up August. We're gonna do this brown cover for the month. And I don't know if you guys saw Tabby from Southern Belle Plans posted a preview of her September kit in her stories on Instagram, and I think September will be the blue cover. It looks so good. Look, you can tell how much I've picked this thing up over the years. I have worn this spine. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to put links to everything down below, even if I didn't mention it verbally, so that if you saw anything and I didn't mention it, check down there. And also let me know, like I said in my previous video, if you guys are interested in doing a read along maybe in September. I thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.